Do you really think you were put on this earth just to be liked? To keep the peace while setting yourself on fire? To shrink so others could feel tall? No. That was the nice girl talking. The one who smiled through disrespect, softened her voice, her needs, her nose. But today, she's off duty, and the real you is about to take her place. Hi guys, I'm Daria and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this is a space all about growth, boundaries, and learning to let go of what no longer feels like home. Today we're diving into the shift from being the nice girl to become a woman who owns her power, the one who stops shrinking, stops explaining, and finally starts choosing herself. We're unpacking what real boundaries look like and how to set them without guilt, because letting go of who you had to be is the first step toward becoming who you really are. Let's get into it. Chapter 1. The nice girl is exhausted. You weren't born to be agreeable. You were born to be authentic. Let me guess. You say yes when your whole body wants to say no. You apologize for the things that aren't your fault. You bend, twist, and shrink to make everyone else comfortable, and then wonder why you feel like a ghost in your own life. Sound familiar? Being the nice girl looks sweet on the outside, but inside, it's a slow leak of your identity, your energy, your worth. You smile through discomfort. You tolerate behavior that makes your stomach turn. You play small to make others feel big. And the worst part, you've been celebrated for it, because being nice is easier for everyone else, as long as it's costing you. Being the nice girl is just socially accepted self-abandonment. You're not selfless. You're just scared of being called selfish. There's a difference between generosity and self-erasure. No one really teaches you that being liked and being loved are not the same thing. One requires performance, the other requires presence. If they only like the version of you that's always convenient, they don't actually like you. And if everyone likes you, you probably aren't being fully honest with anyone. It's not your job to be digestible. It's your job to be real. And before you say, "But I don't want to be mean," hear this. There's a difference between being kind and being agreeable. Kindness is strong. Being agreeable means being silent. And you weren't made to be quiet. You were made to command a room. So no, you're not too much. You're just surrounded by people who benefited from you being less. Let that be their problem, not your personality. You don't need to explain your boundaries, justify your needs, or earn your rest. You just need to start choosing yourself like you mean it. And if someone calls that selfish, smile sweetly and let them be wrong. Here's your reminder. It's not about becoming cold. It's about getting clear. And that clarity starts right here. You've spent enough time being agreeable. Now, it's time to be honest. Honest about how tired you are. Honest about what you're no longer willing to tolerate. You weren't put on this earth to be pleasant. You were put here to be powerful. And powerful women don't beg for peace. They become it, because you deserve a life that doesn't ask you to disappear just to be loved. Chapter 2. You were trained to be likable. Since when did your life become a PR campaign for other people's comfort? It's not uncommon to be taught to live our lives for other people. So what? The neighbors won't gossip. Your relatives won't judge. Let them. Let them whisper. Let them roll their eyes. As long as you're okay, that's all that matters. Start your morning like this. Look in the mirror and say, "I look good. I feel good." That's enough. The rest? Their opinions? I've got peace to chase and zero explanations to give. Let's be honest, you weren't born trying to be a nice girl. Some of that softness was always in you, but a lot of it, you might have learned somewhere along the way that being nice was the same as being lovable. From a young age, you might have heard things like, be polite, don't interrupt, smile more, don't be difficult, don't be too emotional, don't be too loud, don't be too anything. Basically, make sure everyone else is okay, even if that means you're not. Conditioned to say it's fine when it's not. To hold your tongue when it's shaking with the truth. To be pleasing instead of powerful. To be easy to handle instead of whole. And here's the wild part. The better you got at it, the more applause you received. People called you mature, selfless, easy to be around. But no one asked you if you were happy. Of course not. That would have interrupted how comfortable they were. So you learned to adapt, to read the room before you read yourself, to hand out pieces of your piece just to avoid being too much. But let's be clear. The nice girl version of you, she isn't real. She's a performance, a costume, a coping mechanism. She smiles while she's burning, she laughs while she's shrinking, she keeps the peace while waging war inside herself. Ask yourself this: when did survival become your personality? And when you live like that, you don't get chosen, you get used. Congratulations, you became everyone's emergency contact, but never their priority. You become the emotional airbag, the fallback plan, the one who always understands, but never the one who's truly seen. And your worth, it slowly gets measured in silence, in how little space you take up, in how well you disappear on command. Being easy to love shouldn't mean making yourself easy to forget. So let this be your permission slip to unlearn it, all of it. Say no without guilt, take up space without apology, tell the truth, even when your voice shakes, even when it costs you your comfort, even when it disappoints someone who benefits from your compliance. You were not made to be easy to swallow. You were made to be powerful, and power doesn't whisper. It roars. It walks into the room and doesn't wait for permission. Your softness isn't the problem. Their entitlement to it is. And if someone tells you you've changed, tell them thank you, because that was the whole point. So stop contorting, stop shrinking, stop setting yourself on fire just to keep lukewarm people comfortable. Because the moment you stop people pleasing, you start self-respecting. Because being adored for a lie is the loneliest kind of love, and respect is the new pretty. Chapter 3. Why saying yes is killing your glow. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you dim your own light. Not all at once, but slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. A little less joy, a little more resentment, a little deeper into that burnout spiral. Let's be real. The nice girl doesn't glow. She fades. She's the one with the tight smile and tired eyes, the one doing everything for everyone else while whispering, "It's okay, I don't mind," except you do mind. You just don't know how to say it without feeling guilty. The most dangerous thing you can lose, your own enthusiasm for life. And no one warns you about that kind of loss. You keep showing up, you keep giving, you keep saying I'm fine, but you're not fine. You're overbooked, undervalidated, and emotionally bankrupt. And all because you were afraid that no would make you look selfish. But here's the truth. Self-respect will always look like rebellion to the people who benefit from your self-sacrifice. You're not difficult. You're not cold. You're not high maintenance. Although honestly, a little high maintenance energy wouldn't hurt. You're just finally done treating exhaustion like a personality trait. You deserve to rest, to leave the group chat on read, to skip the dinner you didn't want to attend in the first place. You deserve to say no just because you want to. You're not a customer service representative for everyone else's comfort. You're not a yes girl. You're a whole human being. Start acting like it. And yes, people will be disappointed. Let them be. You're not ruining their day. You're just refusing to ruin your own. The first time you choose peace over approval, that's when the glow up begins, because glow up doesn't come from being liked. It comes from liking yourself. And if your no makes someone uncomfortable, that's a them problem, not a you problem. Your peace is not up for negotiation. And your glow, she's making a comeback. Chapter 4. Boundaries are not mean. Let's clear something up. Boundaries are not walls. They're doors with locks, and you hold the key. The nice girl was taught that saying no is rude, that being unavailable is selfish, that choosing yourself is too much. Having boundaries doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you someone who knows their worth and charges accordingly. The truth is, when you don't put yourself first, some people take it as permission to walk over you, then act confused when you're flat. Protecting your peace isn't rude. It's a requirement. And if that makes someone uncomfortable, tell them to speak to someone still desperate for approval. You're not taking appointments. Boundaries aren't mean. They're a maintenance. They're how you water your own roots before handing out bouquets, how you protect your energy without sending out a press release. Because a life without boundaries is like wearing white to a red wine tasting. You're just waiting to get ruined. When you stop over-explaining, over-apologizing, over-functioning, you don't become mean. You become magnetic. You create space for people to step up or step out. And either way, you win. So start answering slower. Start protecting your peace like it's vintage cashmere, rare, soft, and not for everyone. Say no without a 5-paragraph essay. Rest without narrating your worth. And let silence say what you're done repeating. Because the real flex isn't being accessible, it's being unavailable to nonsense. Selective availability isn't rude. It's you setting boundaries, not offering free therapy with a side of people-pleasing. You don't know everyone access to you, not the ones who drain you, not the ones who only call when they need a lifeline, not even the ones who say, but you've changed. Yes, you have. You stopped performing for people who never applauded. You're not cold for wanting peace. You're not cruel for wanting clarity. And you're not mean for finally setting standards. You're wise for having them. You're glowing because of them. And you're allowed to live like you mean it. Chapter 5. From nice to powerful. Your new standard. This is your turning point. The moment the nice girl quietly exits and the powerful woman arrives without asking for permission. She doesn't shrink to fit anyone's comfort zone. She doesn't beg for crumbs of attention. She doesn't chase love, validation, or text responses. She chooses, she claims, she commands. She's not bitter. She's just stopped auditioning for anyone's affection. Because when you stop performing for approval, you start attracting what's real. When you stop over-explaining, you start being understood on your own terms. And that shift, it begins with one decision. Like yourself more than you need others to like you. Because if you don't start choosing yourself, people will treat your silence like a green light to cross your line. They'll keep calling it kindness while draining you dry. They'll leave you empty, then act confused when you finally shut the door. Because once you do, suddenly your time feels more sacred. Your standards rise like high tide. And the same people who once took you for granted now whisper, she's changed. Yes, she has. She's not playing nice. She's playing by new rules. She stopped renting out her kindness with free emotional labor and a smile no one earned. Let them wonder where the old you went. Let them sit in the silence you used to fill with over-apologizing. Let them miss the girl who said yes to everything and herself to nothing. You're not here to be palatable. You're not here to water yourself down until you're safe to consume. You're here to be powerful, to be real, to be you, with no disclaimers and no discount codes. So no more nice girl. She's off duty, and she's not coming back for applause. Just the real one, the one who takes up space, speaks her mind, and wears her boundaries like couture. Because when you decide to stop shrinking, the world doesn't fall apart. It rearranges around your worth. And trust me, that version of you, she's not just enough. She's unforgettable. They should have treated her right when she was still answering the phone. That's a wrap for today's video. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed. And remember, you don't have to be the nice girl to be loved. You just have to be you. And that's always enough. Till next time.